Hi, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm Jo.
And I'm Christina.
And we are As One Creative. Once again, coming to you from different places, although I'm still in LA at this point, and Christina is?
I'm in Florida.
Christina's in Florida. It's equally hot in both places.
It is. So here.
Here we are for episode 27 of Mean on Mondays. And today we want to talk about something, it's a little different from what we usually talk about. Today we want to talk about the days when you don't feel like it. And I know that sorry?
And we all have those days. Wow.
We do. And I know that we usually focus on inspirational, motivational, reality checking, pushing forward, understanding. We usually focus on those. And this one, I don't know, I feel like sometimes this gets a bad rap because I feel like there are so many positive quotes that we see, reminders of what success looks like, how we should be going for it, digging into our passion. All of those things are true. I absolutely subscribe to those things being true, but I also know that I'm a human being and so is everybody else. And there are absolutely going to be days when you don't feel like it. I think that, we talk about dance a lot, obviously. If you watch us, you know this. But, that you can sub out the word dance and put in anything. We're not saying or suggesting that you're going to fall out of love with dance or fall out of love with whatever creative thing you think of when you're either listening to us speak or someone says the word passion. But sometimes there's stuff that just gets in the way of that. Life can sometimes get in the way. Bad sleep, arguments, you run out of, you open the fridge and someone took the lunch that you packed last night, or it puts you in a bad mood, or maybe yesterday was a tough day. So today you get up and you think, I don't feel like looking at myself in the mirror today. I have a massive zit on my forehead. But there will be totally times when you don't feel like it. And it's perfectly okay to not feel like it. But whether you're working as a professional dancer or you're on a dance team or you're training in a dance studio or you're in some other current experience, doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, there, the options of I don't feel like it, so I'm not coming in. And well, that's not an option. I'm just having a bad day. So can you just imagine if I'm working really hard? Imagine going to an audition. Imagine going to an audition and saying,
I want to go back tomorrow. Can I come back tomorrow when I feel better? Because, yeah. And, Jo, I think there are definitely times when you lose interest in something because you have an injury or whatever, you're hurt or something, or you're sore. Like, I think there are days when you can say, I just don't feel like it. And you have to really assess the situation to go, is this something, like, do I need to be professional and stop? Because I was nursing an injury and it's not well, I can't keep pushing. I really don't feel like it today, but should I keep doing it? And I think that's when you really have to be mindful of why, like the real reasons why you don't feel like doing it. Is it a legitimate reason? So, and I know sometimes those reasons that are not legitimate definitely feel like they are. My heart's not in it today. There are just days when you are too tired. It's not because you're sore or you're injured, you're just too tired, or all those examples that you just gave. But I think what's really important is to not let those feelings of I don't feel like it take over. One of the things I like to do is phone a friend, and just, whatever it is that's happened. Phone a friend. I'm going to take that option. Because it really helps sometimes to just spit it all out, to vent as to why, today I'm having a fat day and today I don't like how my hair looks and everything stinks and I can't find anything to wear to the audition. Because I remember I used to do these things about why I couldn't go to the audition. There's no way I'll find anything to wear. I need someone to dress me and I have to really be okay with how they dress me and I have to look good and please do my makeup. And it was so stressful on whatever it is, if it's a class, if it's like you said, if it's a gig, if it's an audition, but there has to be a way that you find a method to not let those things, those thoughts in your mind consume you to the point where you shut down and you give up. Because so I phone a friend, I blah, 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 I get it all out. And the more I keep talking, the more I know this is totally ridiculous. Wear whatever you want to wear. Usually in auditions, they say, come ready, dressed, body conscious, looking fit, whatever. I mean, it's pretty basic. you could wear a pair of jeans and look fit. You could wear booty shorts and look fit. You let your mind get away with you, and you create all these stories. Normally, that's what I do. And you just got to suck it back in. But what do you do?
I think why phoning a friend is a really good idea is I can totally, we dancers are a little dramatic at times. Shh, don't tell anybody. But I know if I keep something in my head and I don't speak it out loud, so there's not really that reality checking it with a friend who can say, okay, I'm sorry that your day was dreadful yesterday and, you didn't pick up the choreography, or I don't know, whatever. You left your dance bag on the train or on the subway or something like that. But in your head, we can tend to whip things up, and they can, like you say, I like the word that you use, to consume. They can start to consume you because the volume is really loud. Moving on. I do a couple of things. I really make sure that as I'm walking into wherever I need to be showing up, if I'm teaching class or a workshop or in a rehearsal, or even, turning up for a gig, I try and leave any irritation station, any version of myself that isn't the best version to show up today, I leave that version in the car. Like, all right, Papa Joe, alter ego Joe, you're going to stay in the car. I'm going to go in and do my thing now. And it feels really important to say, these are the moments that we train for, where the training kicks in, and not just the physicality of our training, but the training we have to show up at what we do. Mm-hmm. The mental training, the discipline, the professionalism, the work ethic, because you might not be in love with it today, or actually maybe you are in love with it, but if for some reason the connection's been not severed, but it's gotten clogged with other stuff that's got in the way. Mm-hmm. So it's not I don't think it's safe to assume that you just don't love this thing called dance anymore because you had a rotten day yesterday and it feels like today that's it, you quit. Reality is usually there's just some stuff that's got in the way. So clearing that stuff out the way, sometimes I vent. Sometimes I try and leave all of those labels, excuses, expectation stories at the door. And I'll often talk about that in class. Whenever we're doing sort of, warm up and it gets to a floor point, I'll say anything else you want to leave on the floor, or stretching, but anything else that you brought in between your ears that's not going to serve you in this space, just leave it on the floor. I think it's really important to say, take the best version of yourself in. Let the training meet you halfway, so that what anybody in the receiving end gets of you is the professional version of you, is the you that's choosing to show up, and the you that's, use some of those other tools that we've just mentioned. Right. What else you got, Christina?
Well, I think it's really important, because we mentioned this a lot about how you want to express yourself and what brand you want to be of yourself, version you want to be of yourself. And I think a lot of times there are those of us that neglect that preparation. So when we do get to that moment where it just doesn't feel good, we completely shut down, rather than thinking about how we could have taken those steps before. Like, I could have taken more class, and I could have been working out at the gym. I could have been running because I know there's going to be 8-hour audition, or I could have, all those things that go through your mind that you could have done. And if you really can stay focused and be disciplined to get yourself in a place where you feel confident. And then I'm just going to throw this out there because I love it, and I swear it works. It's proven that it works, is that there's a TED Talk, and we put the link of this, but it's the power positions, guys. Like, your arms up for 2 minutes increases your hormones, your confident, strong hormones. The power position here, standing with like Wonder Woman, or, feet up on the desk, like really something like that. Doing something as goofy as that is can be so helpful to get out of your head. And then I had a friend that used to tell me, it's just too much right now. You need to do 25 jumping jacks, or you need to drop and do like 20 push-ups, like just to do something and really get that nervous, crazy energy out of your body. So, I mean, those are the things that I do, basically.
We're dancers. Of course it moves energy for us. Of course it shifts perspective. Of course it shifts mindset when we do something physical. That's how we feel when we dance. So if there's something getting in the way of the dance task you want to do, or the job or the class or the rehearsal, of course it makes sense that some sort of physical moving of your energy is going to be, just excusing the dog wagging tail in the corner here.
They always have to make an appearance, everyone. They have to, because
I'm a big writer too. I like to write. So for me, or even say it out loud, sometimes it's just, 3 things that I'm really thankful for. And I know that I see a lot about, being grateful and gratitude and thanking. And I find that sometimes people get a little cynical about, oh, yeah, I know, I get it, right? I've got to be grateful. Like, I think sometimes that word gets thrown around a lot. For me, if I can just say, hey, you know what? I'm getting to dance again today, and I might be a sweaty mess, and it might be 40 degrees outside, and I might have, spilt the whole, all of the cereal all over the floor this morning, and I ran out of toothpaste, and I stubbed my toe on the way out of the bathroom. But actually, I'm getting to do, if I can just get myself into a space of, hey, you know what? All of those things, and they'll, whatever, tomorrow will be a new day, but I actually get to do this thing that I love for a living. Remembering why I started sometimes really helps. Remembering why I started doing this in the first. You're absolutely right. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
So, yes, you are 100% normal and 100% human. If you don't love it, and you'll have those moments where you're like, I'm not in love with it anymore. No, it means you're great, and you're more than just that one thing. Do something that just gets you being less all-encompassed by the energy that you're feeling, something that can just give you a bit of a snap present moment out of that. Can make a difference.
And just know you are not alone in feeling this way, because we all have those days, no matter what it is we do for a living, no matter how much
you love it.
Yeah. No matter how much you can love it or want to live and breathe in it always. Eventually, there comes a time, there comes a day, there comes a week when you're like, I don't know if I can do this right now. You can and you will, if it's something that you really want. Just be true to who you are and know that you deserve and you belong. You belong there, anywhere you want to be. You do.
Absolutely. I feel like I posted something yesterday on Instagram, and it had success, what everybody thinks it looks like, and it had this straight outline and arrow going up, and then success and what it really looks like. And it's like this. Off into the distance. I guess it makes me think of that in that moment. Just because you mightn't feel like you're running with the wind, with your hair blowing off like you're in a movie with an incredible soundtrack every minute of your day, does not mean that you're not, pardon?
I said, and that's not real. That's not realistically how anyone gets there, or the journey they took to get there. You might have some days like that. Absolutely. I hope everyone has more days like that than not, but.
And I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade, but I am here to say, reality check the rain. When it comes in, it's just rain.
Yep.
On that note, here's to more of the good ones and the tough ones, but here's to knowing that the tough ones pass too.
Yep. You guys have an awesome week. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you.